Hello, everybody. Today we will be discussing the ruling class, the power elite. Who are they? America, a free nation who has been polished, structured, and influenced by a specific group of people. This group of people are the so called elite, ruling, controlling, and dominating America and its resources for their advantage. Mills published an important book that educated many people and exposed the so called power elite. Mill states that this so called power elite group is made out of three branches. The first branch is the military, and these are top of the line generals who have the power to persuade war. The second branch is the head honchos of major corporations. We're talking big money here. Our last branch are the top tier politicans. Politicans who have the power to influence, pass laws, and shape up policies for American society. How did they get up the ladder, you may ask? There's many factors. This small group of people, according to Wright Mills, have stayed up the ladder due to their generational wealth. A perfect example of that would be George Washington. His wealth and power have allowed him to have an immaculate influence on American society. And we're talking from railroads to the oil industry. Another way for this group to stay at the top is by intermarrying families. Families from the same class who share values, have similar lifestyles, and a common worldview. These three branches, they all work separate but are interconnected through their wants, needs for world domination. Military means power, authority, and control, which allows government to enforce laws, rules, and fear in our own society and next door countries. Corporation means money, wealth, funds. When all three are connected, American means business, resources, power, and domination. In other terms, they aid one another. When the government needs to something done, or maybe on the national defense line, they use the military. When the military needs approval for something, they go back to their fellow politicians. When politicians are trying to enforce something, or they need funding for a campaign, they use nonprofit organizations, or they use big corporation money. But as sophisticated as they seem, this small group of individuals also make mistakes that go unpunished and overlooked. This type of power allows them to shape policies according to their needs. An example of this would be the lobbying of several governments' campaigns. By doing so, they have a certain type of persuasion, they have a certain type of influence. They can polish a special need, a request, after donating millions of dollars. Another way in which these lobbyists or power elite influence America and their society is through multimedia, algorithms. We have entertainment, we have propaganda, different class of living styles. We have people rocking Gucci. As we speak, America is becoming a more materialistic society than ever. People are more worried about spending money, looking good, keeping up with social media, or as many of us, keeping up with TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. And this goes unseen, but in reality, it's a perfect way for them to infiltrate our lives, our thoughts, the way in which we spend money, the way in which we dress, the way in which and how we talk. However, thanks to the development of new technologies, independent papers, independent authors all over the world, and through the use of internet, we can get ourselves out of that bubble, out of those lies and the deception that is given to us on a daily basis. Many people use international news and all different type of sources. As y'all may see, there's so many live chats all over the world, and that is a very good resource for us to figure out what is going on outside of the power elite's control. You know, what is really going on in other countries. We can find out about resources. We can find out the, you know, tons of information from democracy to the poverty line to education. So I want to jump on a different type of wagon here. I'm not trying to shame the power elite. I'm not trying to say that they're evil, and I'm also not trying to say that they're the kindest type of people in the world. But um, with the research that I have done and a couple of literatures that I have used, I've came across some um, very good topics. According to Michael J. Ard, a former CIA manager, he provides a different perspective, and that perspective stuck with me because people are always so focused on the negativity. And yes, it does affect us. It affects America as a whole. It affects America as a democracy. All states are affected. But if can you imagine where we would be if it wouldn't be for these power elite? Just think about it for a second. America could be a third world country, you know. And as of now, America is one of the most sophisticated and with better living conditions than all over the world. Here are a couple fun facts. America is one of the country that has evolved efficiently as fast as it did, and it's actually one of the youngest countries. They have also educated their people. They've led us into successful business ownerships. I know quite some people that own their own business, you know, and me being from I was born here, but being from a different origin, different ethnicity, I have people in countries like Guatemala or Mexico that they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And although there is poverty here, there's things like welfare, federal aid. Many people are not fortunate enough to say, I have food stamps, I have ABT, I can go buy a gallon of milk. Another thing is our education. America's education is at a pretty high level. We are pretty good at educating our people. Um, we have the best literature, best teachers, best universities, best books. I mean, some of us even get federal grants. That is unheard of in different countries. America has also been through disasters such as World War II and the mess that it left, the catastrophe. But thanks to our leaders, you know, America rose up. America is blooming. America is shining. America might not be the safest place to live in different areas, but America overall is a safe nation. Before I conclude this presentation, I want to share a fun fact. So, in this power elite, it's mostly dominated by Anglo male race. And you might be wondering, what do they do? Why don't I ever see them? Where do they hang out? So, this group of people, they stay between their own kind. By that I mean class, money, education. They own many clubs that they all consist to. They have their private schools, their private events. They stick with their own kind, in other words. So they go pretty unseen. Consequences of that is regular average Joes like you and I, we feel like our voices are not heard. We feel like there's no hope for a better and more just for tomorrow. And that's where democracy fails. My tip to you is stay aware. Try to limit a little bit from the time you put in TikTok and stay informed. Stay educated from different sources, international sources, different literature. There's many authors out there that are willing to freely share the truth. All we need to do is look for it, hear it, understand it, and maybe one day when we all come together, we can form a better democracy, a better America, and we can balance things out. By the way, this is Angel Sanchez. This course is Social Systems and Problems. And today I took you on a little dive of who the power elite are, what they do, and how they maneuver. Have a great day.